All right, we're back at Microsoft Tech Ed 2013. I'm here again with Mike McGhee, and he's going to show us a demo now of Operations Manager, the integration with VNX. Is that right?
That's right.
All right, let's get to it.
So what we have here, this happens to be set up and installed in a private cloud FastTrack environment that we've validated. It's a VNX 5500, and what we have is the EMC Storage Integrator product, ESI for short. And with that, we have a SCOM management pack, so System Center Operations Manager. We have a management pack that we provide, and what it does is it allows the storage array to have alerts that bubble up into ESI, and then ESI then sends that into SCOM to give you the alerting and the visibility into the environment that you need. The SCOM adapter gives you several layers. It gives you some logical layers and some physical layers in which you can for example, you have logical components such as storage groups, as well as storage pools, and then you have physical components like your power supplies, your physical connections to the SAN, etc. So you get alerting top to bottom through this integration. So why don't we go ahead and start the demo and take a look at some of those things. So you can see here, the EMC Storage Integrator plugin goes right into Ops Manager. You have active alerts and you have your overall topology. So if we take a look at the overall topology, you can see we have our ESI service. You specify which hosts are going to manage and actually export that out. Once that's discovered, you actually find what arrays are shown. And you can see here it's put into different buckets at the higher level between healthy, warning, and critical. So let's dig in and find out what was that critical alert. So we take a look and we see, we go to active alerts and we see, oh, well, there's a bus alert on bus 1. So if you go ahead and take a look and dig in deeper, we can find out that there's actually a failed drive against that bus. So we have a bus critical alert and we have a failed drive. The drive is bad. It's not marked as critical because we actually have a hot spare invoked against that drive. So we're not in any danger so far because we have that hot spare, but we know we have a drive that we need to report on. And we've been finding that with this kind of integration that the server admin is now alerting the SAN admin that there's a problem in the environment, maybe even before the SAN admin knows. So what else can we find out based on that event? So we know we have a bad drive. Well, does that impact a storage pool? Well, in fact it does. So if we go into our storage pool view, again, one of these logical components that we talked about, we can see that we have a warning against one of those storage pools. Well, maybe you saw that first, or maybe that was the first warning you saw. Well, here's our pool, and oh, there's that same bus 1 enclosure underneath that object, which is causing that alert. So if it's a related object to a failed drive, to a failed port, you might have a port failure which might impact a storage group. So we have storage group logical objects if there's a problem. That'll bubble up, based on the physical problem. So you get to see the effect of affected entities, relationships, and again, you get to drive that information down to your SAN admin if they're not aware of it already. So while we're talking about storage pools, we talked about health status. We also have health status based on states. So for example, free space within a pool, how much is consumed. We can see that these are all healthy. They all have the correct amount of free space based on our thresholds. But you can also dig in and have charts and give reports. There's a chart view that you can see where you can actually find out how much is allocated, how much is free, and set alerts based on what you want to have within those given roles. So real monitoring, soup to nuts, logical, physical, to help you really drive that awareness in the environment.